Hello, hi, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and it's my birthday. Today's my birthday. So I thought I would come and say hello and share a little bit of birthday love with you. And welcome. So you can find me on Instagram as wattle_and_wool. You can find me on YouTube as Wattle and Wool, which is probably where you're watching me now. And I am from Perth, Western Australia. So I would like to start by paying my acknowledgements and respect to the Indigenous people on the land on which I stand, the Whadjuk Noongar people, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. All right, let's get started. Okay, we've actually got a lot. So let's kind of talk about everything. I have finished this shawl. I did actually finish it and show it to you last time. This is Migla by Inese, and I've blocked it. So all the lace is nice and beautiful. The picot edges are actually picoing, so they're nice and pointy. I'm going to, after this, take some photos and then I shall post it off to my lecturer, and I'm so excited for it. I'll talk about that in a bit. I have also finished a beanie. Now this beanie is for one of my students. She graduates in a few weeks. She is year 12. And I don't know, like, you know when you kind of meet those people and they just mean a lot to you and you just kind of, I don't know, they dig into you a little bit, like burrow into your soul. And this is one of those students. So her name is Chloe and she's, aka my shadow is what we call her in the office. And she's just a really, really special human. So she's one of the first people I was really comfortable coming out to and telling that I was bi. A surprise. And I wanted to make her a beanie. And I've made her a few over the years for, you know, birthdays and stuff. And she's made me gifts as well. It's always awkward because, you know, professionalism and stuff, and I just want to make sure everything's okay, so I do get it signed off. So just to make sure that's really clear. So I made her a Musselburgh hat, except this one, so I started it and I screwed up the increases. So instead of increasing it with a make one, I just did like, I don't know, I picked up something. It didn't quite work out. And then the colour work, which I really like, was too low. So by the time I kind of put the brim on, it didn't really work. So I'm going to finish this and just give it to her. And it's kind of like a bucket hat. So the quote is, "Sounds gay." And then the brim of it says, "I'm in," which is a quote. It's kind of funny. It was kind of a bit of a joke between us. So I love it as like a bucket hat style, which is ridiculous, but that is the fun of it. So I am going to, I'm not even going to bind it off. I'm just going to kind of floop the edge and then weave in the end so that you can wear it as a bucket hat. I love the ridiculousness. But I finished the actual beanie and it looks like this. So it says, "Sounds gay, I'm in." Again, I will take proper pictures. This one I need to wash and block, and I'm really nervous because I don't want this black to interact with the like fluoro colors, neon fluoro. But oh well, we're gonna have to make it work. So I love it. I do need to kind of like stretch it out a little bit just to make it fit properly. But I think it's really fun. So because it's a Musselburgh, you start knitting on one end and then you continue basically like a football looking thing, and then you decrease on the other side. So you do increases, knit the main body, and then decrease, and it becomes a double thick hat. But I started it on this side, and then I realized that this was too low down. So by the time you could get the "I'm gay," it would be like down here, and it would be ridiculous. So I knit the black side with the I'm in a, this would be maybe a 4-ply. So what's that? Like a Aran, maybe? Worsted? Thicker. No, it's not DK, it's thicker than DK. Maybe it was DK, maybe it's DK. Anyway, this is thick, so I had to, because the neon is fingering, so I had to use double thickness for the I'm in. And this one I just stranded, yeah, it is DK. I just stranded the DK into the fingering, but I feel like it works, it's fine. The cool thing about the Musselburgh is because everything's on the inside and it's like double thick, you don't need to weave in any of the ends. So it means that changing yarns, because this is all changed yarns, I could just literally tie a knot and then leave it on the inside and it will be fine. The black, because it's only a little bit that you're taking, so I would, you know, go around, knit to here, strand the black, go around, pick up the black from here, bring it over to here, and then go again. So I had all these loops, and so I just cut them in the middle, and so it looks like that. But I think it works really well. It's going to stay in, it's going to be nice and tight, so I don't really see a problem with it. Yeah, I really liked it. So I knew that this side wasn't working, but I had the black. So I continued with the black and I closed off the black. Then I unpicked this and I took it off. I put the stitches back on the needle and I decreased this way. So the soundscape bit, I mean, I just put on Excel spreadsheet and made it kind of work and figured out the numbers to make it work. And so I did it as a decrease. Yeah. And so technically both of these sides are actually decrease, but they kind of work differently. So that is the beanie. And then if I want to do, because it is reversible, if I want to do it the other way and just have it as a black, plain black beanie. Where are we? Then it's just plain black with a nice little rainbow brim. Nice and bright, lots of fun. So I kind of, yeah, this makes me laugh quite a bit, but it does kind of fit the dynamic that me and my student have. So that is kind of like technically my first finished product, even though the other one, because the other one was finished before. All right. Now, just a couple of whips. I think I'm in the middle of quite a few rows, which is quite annoying. This one is the Advent that I was talking about before. This is the Brioche and Garter Advent. So it starts with Garter and then it moves into a Brioche section and it just keeps doing that. This is 2 colours held double, sorry, 2 colours kind of stranded together. So the Brioche is 2-colour Brioche, you got 1 on each side, and then the Garter stitch, I'm actually doing the Garter at the moment so I can show you. Oh, and yes, I'm in the middle of the row, helpful. So I'm going to, here we go. I'm going to complete the row with this colour, so I've already gone this way, and now I'm going back that way. When I finish and get to that side, I'm going to drop this yarn, and I'm going to pick up the other colour, and then I'm going to do 2, well, you know, 1, so 2 rows back that way, and then I'm just going to keep interchanging the 2. So it leaves like, can you really see? Yes, you can see it in this way. It leaves like kind of a stripe, which I love. So this is looking quite long. This, please excuse me. So last time I showed you, I had done 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. And then since showing you, I've done 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I ended up having tonsillitis for 2 weeks and I didn't know. I went to the doctors and I was like, hey, I'm really sick. Like, what is going on? And I was like, I'm not sleeping. I'm coughing all the time. I keep losing my voice. My throat is killing me. I'm just living on cough lollies. Please help. And she had a look at my tonsils and she's like, yeah, they are really swollen. It looks like you have been having tonsillitis for about 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, brilliant. And so I had my students writing essays, and the cool thing about the timing is that I didn't need to actively teach because the students were just doing their work. The hard thing is I'm ADHD as all heck, and so I can't sit still, and I want to help the students, and if I was to help them, I would end up writing the essays for them because it was bothering me that they weren't writing them the way that I would like to write them. And so I took in my knitting and I just started to knit. I put this little earring in here just to keep a rough memory. In 2 days, I did this amount. For context, this took me about a week. I was so bored sitting in class that I did about this much in 2 days. Do I recommend knitting as a teaching tool? No, I do not. It's not very effective. It literally was only because I could not sit still, I could not focus, but I also was unproductive. I needed to have some sort of value that I was giving. And I kept losing my voice. It got to the point where my students would just walk in and instead of looking at me and saying hello, they would look at the board to see where I've written, I've lost my voice again. And these are the instructions for today. So I do usually have my knitting on me because, again, ADHD and anxiety, and it really helps me. But I try not to do it a lot in class or somewhere that is important unless I literally need it as a coping mechanism. So being really sick and having no value in my class that I couldn't teach, and I also was unable to teach because my voice wasn't there, it led to me knitting quite a bit. And I'm really excited that my voice is now back so that I can teach effectively without having to rely on knitting to make me feel productive. But this is how much I've done. So I'm really, really happy with it. I think the colours are absolutely beautiful. So just showing you that colour progression. And then it's going to go into more of this like pinky goldy kind of colour next. This way. And then it'll end in like a deep purple, which I think is just stunning. So that is what I've been working on. Quite often I've been working on that. This is also my tutoring product. So when I go tutoring, I have 2 projects. I'll show you the other one as well. When I go tutoring, again, it's an hour and I'm just sitting there staring at children write. So I usually knit because it just keeps me busy and it's something that I can do and stay focused and stay present in the moment. My other tutoring project is really small for the moment, but it will continue to grow. Oh, it's what I finished. Very out of whack today, and I'm sorry. So my other tutoring project is going to be a blanket. And it has started off in just like a nice little pinwheel looking thing. I started it and then I didn't like the increases because I was doing make one. And I much prefer the way that I'm doing these increases instead. It's going to be like a circular blanket, which is one of my favorite styles when I want to do something just easy and like that doesn't take a lot of thinking. So I mentioned last episode that I was working on a top which looks like this. So from the last episode, I put a little stitch marker here, and that's how much I had to finish. This was my previous tutoring top. This is what I would do when I was at tutoring. I was doing this helical knitting, so I had 2 balls of this speckled yarn, and I was just going around chasing each other with the helical knitting. And these highlighter Noop rows are the same yarns that I used in this, and they're going to be the same yarns that I use in this. I talked before about my plan for a highlighter blanket where it's going to be rows of the colours, and yeah, so I decided to get it started. I absolutely love this. I'm going to finish it off and weave in all the ends, and then I'm going to wear it to tutoring to show some of the students because they were really invested and really excited, which I think is just so cute. So I'm going to get this done, and I had a little bit left over of this colorway, so I've got this much left over. So I thought this would be the center of the blanket, and then I've basically got, I mean, maybe of 100-gram balls, I probably got 85 grams left of each of these highlighter colors. So I've got almost a full ball of all of them, and it's 6 colors. So I thought this would be the center, and then I will do rows, you know, of the next highlighter colors. Yeah, and that was going to be my blanket. I am still debating if I'm going to do anything decorative, as in like lace or anything in the sections. I'm still not too sure, but for the moment I'm just doing this as a middle part where I think it's just going to be kind of the center, which I really like. I really like this as an idea. So that is my current tutoring project when I'm not doing my Advent scarf. And yeah, all the kids keep asking me like, what is it? I'm like, it's a blanket. And they're like, okay, yeah, because it's obviously so small. So this isn't fingering weight, so it's going to be a long-term project. It'll be fun. The next project that I've been working on pretty hard is also only like halfway through a row, which is super helpful. But it's my Advent blanket. I am completely obsessed with this blanket. So I've done 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm on my 10th pleat. And realistically, I'm almost done my 10th pleat. Like it's so close to being done. So I'm very, very, very close. I made a calendar and started crossing off each day that I knit on this. And the knit had to be like there and back. So a full 2 rows, because a row is there and back. And I had to do, I'll knit as I talk. I had to do 2 full rows to be able to count it as like one box. And then I was just coloring in the days. And then I realized that wasn't motivating me. So instead I started writing down the date of the days that I was doing it. So, you know, the 4th, the 7th, the whatever. And I started getting really into it because I was realizing that some days I was doing, you know, 3, 4 boxes, which was 8 rows, which was super exciting. And then other days I would skip. So recently, as I was finishing off the beanie, I skipped like 12 days, which is not so good. So I'm now, instead of being ahead of schedule, I'm now behind schedule. Not that I'm really keeping this to a strict schedule, but it's still, you know, I'm competitive with myself and I want to achieve what I want to achieve. And so, yeah, so I'm kind of trying to push myself a little bit so that I can get this done. The goal would be that I get this finished by the end of the year, and we shall see. So if this is the 10th pleat, I have 42 in total. So this length kind of times 4. It's not going to be super, super long or wide or whatever the measurement will be. I actually don't know how it's going to go. I think it'll be quite wide and not very long or deep. But that is the plan, just to kind of push that and make it happen. And I just think it'll be really beautiful on our bed. So yeah, I absolutely love these colors. I showed you in the last episode the full spectrum, and I'm completely obsessed with them all. I keep just putting this down and making Alex, my partner, making him stop and look and appreciate me. And so yeah, I'm quite obsessed with this. So this is the next like big project that I'm, you know, I will keep checking in with you and show you where I'm up to. So what I will do, because I put a little progress marker. Here we go. So the last time that I filmed, I was only up to this one here. So between filming, I've done 1, 2, 3, almost 4 full plates. So I'm going to take a little marker off, and I'll put it at the end of this plate so that I know where I'm up to. We'll see how much I improve by the time I next film. I found a mitten pattern. It's a mitten advent, and I love the idea. So I have these, which are hand spun from Latvia. As far as I'm aware, they are Latvian yarn that was then spun spun. No, it must have been machine spun. I don't know. It was then spun. I'm pretty sure it's in Lithuania. And then it came back to Latvia. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, so this is technically Latvian wool, and being Latvian, this is, or ethnically, this is something that I really want to look at and knit more with. So I've made one little mitten, and these are little advent mittens, and it's really fun. I really enjoyed the pattern. I was meant to knit on much smaller needles, but honestly, I can't imagine that. These are the perfect size for an advent, to be able to put like a little surprise inside them. And I'm sure when I wash and block them, they will bloom out a little bit. I absolutely love the pattern. So this is a Mitten Garland. I will link everything below. Yeah, so I got the idea of doing this, totally knit one, fell in love with the Latvian braid on the cuff, and then stopped. Just knit one. I was like, I'm done. That's all 25, right? So it was meant to save my second sock syndrome, and instead it's just left a lonely mitten syndrome. So I do need to pick this up and continue working on it. I just don't really know when. The goal, I did start this at the end of September, and I was like, oh cool, if I do like 1 or 2 a week, I can get it, you know, I can get a good amount done. Nah, we're halfway through October. It's not happening. So I'm allowing myself to let that go. I'm keeping them in here though, because I really do want to do it. I'm just not putting the pressure on myself. What I have been working on is, to be honest, the same thing everyone's been working on, because it is Stephen West, Go Go Dynamo, and Colour Along. So I was totally not going to do it. Not at all. Wasn't keen. I've done the Slipstravaganza, and honestly, it took me so long to finish it. I was just not in the mood, and I was like, you know what? This isn't it. This is not it for me. I don't want to do this. This is just not, like, I feel like I was knitting so slowly, and I maybe there was too much in that for me. I don't know. Maybe my life is going on. October tends to be a really busy month for everyone, but I just couldn't do it. Couldn't keep up. Couldn't commit. And so I really struggled, and I struggled watching everyone else do it and then not me. But I logged onto Instagram, totally not meaning to look at anything, just, you know, having a quick scroll. And Bubble Girl Knits, who test knits a lot for Stephen West, she posted up her Clue 1, and as soon as I saw it, I just knew I had to make it. It screamed my name. So I then started thinking about what I was going to knit, and I came home and I looked in my yarn pile and I couldn't find the right thing. And then I had just ordered an advent from Tarina of Tarina Knits, who dyes under Love and Speckles, and on Etsy, and I basically messaged her and was like, hey, I'm desperate. So I messaged her because she's a Perth girl, and she actually is in a similar location to me, which is really helpful. So she's a Perth girl. I thought that she's got quite romantic and whimsical colours, but they're very speckly. So I think of Susan of Ash and Eve, who's in Brisbane. I think of hers as very like a pastel palette, almost watercolour, very soft. Not to say that they're not strong colours, but they're just, the palette is a very a soft, gentle kind of colourway. And I felt like Tarina's colours are a similar kind of soft, gentle colourway, but Tarina has a lot more speckles in hers than Susan does. And I really love speckles at the moment. It's my thing at the moment. And yeah, I was just really excited. I was thinking about maybe Stitchcraft and Wizardry, or, what's her name? Rainbows and Sprinkles. There we go. So I was thinking about them, and then Rainbows and Sprinkles has just released a new colorway. So if you are feeling in the mood for bright speckles and colors and bright and happy joy, go see her stuff, because she's just released this brand new beautiful collection. But it wasn't really right for what I wanted. I did want something a bit more romantic. So Love and Speckles it was, and I basically messaged her frantically and was like, hi, I think you're the only one who can help me. Can I put a rush order in ASAP? And the poor thing, he was like, I'm going out, but I'll look when I get home. And I was like, please. So I ended up swinging past just before work and I collected my colours. So this is Cupcake on the MCN, so merino cashmere nylon. And this is French Rose on the Superwash merino. And I think they are absolutely beautiful together. And then I saw this. So originally I was looking for, I liked the French Rose and I was thinking about like a beigey brownie, like sandstone or something. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I saw Cupcake and I was like, yeah, that's it. But I actually thought it was more pink than this. But she put them together and I was like, nope, that's the pair. That's exactly what I want. And then I saw the French Rose, and this is a Suri silk. So 74 baby Suri alpaca, 26% silk. And I'm obsessed. So this is going to be my pairing. And the reason I'm hurrying to show you is because I want to get onto the mohair by tonight. So I have got, I'm up to the joining. Here we go. I'm joining the last little bit. I know it's meant to be on waist yarn, but honestly, I just do whatever I want. So I'm joining the semicircles together with the Garter stripes. I would say spoiler, but honestly, Clue 2's already out, so like, spoiler. But yes, I'm joining this bit and I've got this last join and then the last back bit of this loop to go, and then I think there's a few Garter stripes, and then you get the bubbles. Now the thing is, I don't like the bubbles being in the merino yarn. I want them to be in the fluff because I love brioche, but I don't like brioche with fluff. I want it to be squishy and solid on its own, but I don't like the bubbles either. And I find because of the way that you have to knit them, I find that the bubbles kind of look funny. I don't know, like they do look bubbly, but they look too solid. I don't know, something about it. It just doesn't vibe with me. So the mohair day, I'm actually going to switch it over and I'm going to do the mohair or the suri for the bubbles, just one strand. But because this is 300 meters over 50 grams, I think I'm going to have more than enough. So I'm not too stressed about that at all. And then I will leave the main yarn for the brioche, and I think that's going to be a really, really, really good combo. It's going to look a little bit different than everyone else's, but I mean, that's the point, isn't it? So that's it. Super chill. I've been knitting a lot, but also feeling like I'm not getting a lot done. Watching everyone else's Instagrams, so excited. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't think this is going to come out in time. Oh no. I've been trying to donate to the Louie and Lola Knit for the Girls breast cancer awareness, and it just like all the prizes and stuff look amazing. So if this doesn't come out in time, because I'm recording it on the Sunday that it ends, good luck to everyone, and I hope that everyone, sorry, my cat. I hope that everyone gets something good out of it, because oh my goodness, it looks incredible. Oh, and I've just put in quite a large order from Woolen Works, but I can't wait to unbox that with you guys because I'm just like obsessed with it. And I'm dreaming up more Advent plans. As I've said before, next year is going to be my year of the Advent, so I'm going to do up a couple of patterns. I'm actually anticipating releasing a few at the beginning of the year, doing a year-long knit-along, but then working on others and doing like releasing those as I go. So it's still a year long, it's just that there might be a few. All the details will come out when I've solidified them and when I actually know what I'm doing later on, but for now that's the plan. But yeah, we will see how we go. That's it. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will catch you soon, and keep knitting.